And we're here talking to her son Marcus about what he's doing for the community today. Come on, and I'm taking you along for the ride. Talk with Tawana. Your story is a story of transformation and triumph.
Yes.
So let's talk about your mom and her legacy and how you're continuing this legacy today.
Okay, my mother, she passed away about 5 years ago through cancer, but before that, she was a community activist. She worked in public schools. She did a lot of stuff for the community. She's heavily active with all the politicians, like the Borough President, Eric Adams, Jesse Hamilton, Clarence Stoneman Jr. So she played like a major role in the community. And she was like really for the kids and stuff. As you can see, we have the block named after her, Barbara Simmons Way, right here on Lefferts in Kingston. So I'll do my best to pick up like where she left off and continue her work and her legacy.
Currently, right now, 1 in 11 people in West Crown Heights and Prospect Lefferts Garden is diagnosed with COVID-19. What would Barbara Simmons do to ensure that her community residents were safe?
Basically with Barbara Simmons, my mother, she would have did is basically it's all about information about keeping safe and how to like hand sanitize what to do and certain stuff. And actually we did our best, actually this store right here during the COVID-19, like we provided like hand sanitizers to like the hospitals, to the fire workers. We had the masks and KN95, and we basically was just giving away for the local.
So you took up her mantle during this COVID-19 where the underserved in the community was not getting the service that they needed.
Yes, basically that's why also too I'm elected by Borough President Eric Adams as a COVID-19 hero, where I'll be receiving an award and citation for that.
Congratulations on the great work. As I said, like your story is such an amazing story. So let's get into some of the hot things as a community activist, because I know you're a community activist as well. So what is your vision for Brooklyn?
My vision for Brooklyn is basically, as of right now, you know, like the crime rate is very high all through like the city. So my vision right now is basically helping lower the crime rate. So it's like doing my best. It's like we have to encourage our younger generation with knowledge, so that way it's like we can love each other and not harm each other and want the better for our community.
So you're one of the commissioners for the Dunker's Delight basketball tournament that is about gang awareness, violence awareness, and keeping kids off the street. This year you had such a great impact on the young people. Tell me, what were some of the challenges that you faced in bringing back the tournament to Brooklyn?
It was a lot of challenges. As you know, it hasn't been around since 10 years. So one of the first challenges our community, we had to come together, organize, strategize. One of the obstacles we had to overcome was basically the permit, simple things, getting a permit for the park, as you know. I mean, going through the logistics of everything, getting police involved, so that way, like when we have our games and stuff, that everybody's safe. It's like a safe place in the neighborhood. So we had to get the 7-1 precinct involved, the police commissioners. We had to reach out to our local politicians, get them involved, get the whole community and stuff like that. And it's basically just organizing all the teams and players and keeping it like a positive thing for the community to have this summer.
I mean, Dunker's is bringing out a crowd, man.
Yes.
It's mad people out there.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm gonna bring my Brooklyn swag now.
Yes.
It's mad people out there.
Yeah.
You even got your homeboy all the way from Harlem coming down playing. He got a team in there.
Yeah.
I know I want the people to get surprised. You know, I don't want to name drop, but you are bringing out a crowd and you are giving the young people something else to put their energy in. And that's why I love basketball.
Yeah.
Like basketball was my first love. Like,
okay.
I'm gonna get into that because I'm a Spalding girl, you know. Who you gonna take to the prom? Spalding? Yeah, that's me right there. Loving basketball and basketball. I played at Medgar Evers. I played with Barney Davis. And I was a Mika girl. And when I fell in love with basketball is when the Chicago Bulls came to, they had the same nonviolence thing, Books Before Drugs campaign, the Chicago Bulls. They came to Grenada, and that's where I'm from. And I saw the I saw the guy talking about it, and I was like, mommy, this guy came from the Chicago Bulls, and they were giving us tickets and stuff. And I was like, buy me a basketball and teach me how to spin the ball, because my mom used to play netball at the time. And basketball just stuck with me, and it transformed my life. It made me know how important education was, because in order to play in PSAL, you have to have a certain grade point average. So that was my love story. Tell me your love story with basketball.
Okay, my love story is basketball. I started at the age of about 12 years old. I think I was playing my first tournament was probably right down the block, the school on Empire in Troy. And the second tournament that I actually played was in Wingate Park, Duncan's Delight, where I was an all-star, averaged about 16, 18 points per game. I led my team to, I believe, the semifinals and all that.
What was your top score?
My top score?
Through your entire basketball career. Like, what was your top stacks?
Yeah, I can't remember. It might be 28. I'm not too sure. 28 points.
Okay.
Yes.
What they call you, a ringer?
What? I was never.
It wasn't a ringer.
At the age 12, I was like already 6 feet, so I was really taller than like most kids.
Wow. All right, continue. Tell me more. Like, I want to hear about basketball.
So basketball, basically, I played basketball all through my young years, like 12, 13, 14. Basically, I played JV at Canarsie as a freshman and stuff like that. But I was like really into it. I played with Bedford Y. That's one of the teams that I'm sponsoring, Duncan's Delight, the junior high school this year, with Coach Tippy. So
Coach Tippy's pretty famous.
Yes.
Like, in street basketball, as I grew up, you know, I always used to hear about him coaching some of the kids, especially like I used to do West Fort.
Yes.
I used to do so like after the girls go first and then the guys. So that's where I got to learn about him.
Yeah, Coach Tippy helped with like a lot of young men get into school, colleges and stuff like that, and also helped them stay focused. He trained them with the Bedford Y program.
Is that something that you're looking to instill in young men in the neighborhood? That's why you put so much emphasis on working in Duncan's Delight and bringing it back?
Yes, because I used like basically Duncan's Delight has a big platform, as you can see. So basically it's like saying getting hold of the young men in the community, showing them something positive, being a mentorship and helping them like, yo, you don't have to join a gang, you don't have to do that, and bringing some positive interest into their life, something they can look forward to.
All right, so I was scrolling on Instagram, and since you brought up the gang stuff, I want to ask you what this quote mean that you post.
Yes.
An OG is supposed to make sure nobody else makes the same mistake that they did.
Yeah.
A lot of y'all out here promoting prison and debt.
Yes.
What are some of the mistakes that you made that you don't want other young people making?
The mistakes that I could make, I can honestly say when I was young, I got caught up in gang activity when I was young. I didn't know no better, just like, you know, being with friends, not knowing what it is, not having a sense of knowledge that I have now. So it's like, sometimes when I tell kids, it's like, I grew up in the streets, even though I was an honorable student, I got caught up with the wrong crowd. I did a lot of things in my life that I wasn't supposed to do. So basically, it's like I try to teach young men through my mistakes so they won't have to make the same mistakes I did as they go through life. So just let them know it's like it's better ways of living, more positive outreach and certain stuff. And like I said, being more of a mentorship that I didn't have when I was growing up.
In our society, cultural norms, social conditioning, and systematic racism puts a lot of pressure on young men to succeed. Yeah. And also it puts a lot of pressure on young Black boys not to succeed. Yeah. So you have become a success story. You're an entrepreneur, you're a community activist. Yeah. What tips do you have for young men, adult men who are looking to, let's say, go into entrepreneurship or continue their education or just be good model citizens? What advice do you have for them?
First advice I have for young men, it all starts with like putting your faith in God, prayer first. That's first and foremost before like anything. Amen. Yeah, you know what I mean? Second of all, entrepreneurship is like basically being business minded, having a goal just to say that you don't want to work for nobody, that you want to create your own business. Like these days we have like the internet, Google, information right at our hand, but we use the internet for all the wrong things. So you could teach yourself to be like your own business person, how to promote your brand, how to market yourself, how to go about that. It all just start with a product and basically just legalizing it and doing it the correct way for entrepreneurship.
All right, so you're going to be making some celebrity appearances on some VH1 shows. What is the message that you're trying to tell young people out there on these shows?
The message that we basically getting across, like if you not too familiar with the story behind Duncan's Delight, one of our young members that was on the committee was actually killed through gun violence a couple of weeks before the tournament started, a month before it started. His name was Two Step. So on the show, basically, it's like a tribute to Two Step and showing basically how we kept the vision alive, how we worked, and we just moved forward through everything. And like basically his vision with us through Duncan's Delight is like for the kids to have them play basketball, give them a safe place to come in at summertime. As you can see right now in the 7-1 precinct, it's like the crime rate is down around here in our area this summer. You're gonna see the Citizen app going off every minute, and it's because of basically a basketball tournament, something like that, would give a safe place to all these kids and people to come to hang out and have something positive.
You know, my vision is to see basketball tournaments all over the city.
Yes.
Every park should be having some type of activity for junior high, high school, seniors, unlimited. That's my vision. And my vision is to see, like, as that come together, we have the showcase, showdown, best borough, best park, and that's how we do it. And as you say, it brings down the crime rate. People just need something to get a good relief, come out in the evening and enjoy the family day. And that's something that you guys do a lot. You guys have this big day which is dedicated to your mom on September 16th. It's a national, well, it's a borough holiday. Let's say that. It's a borough holiday for your mom. So tell me, how did you feel when Eric Adams awarded your mom that day?
I actually cried. You know what I mean? It brought tears to my eyes. I really try not to cry and have tears, but it really touched me. Like, it's being a proud son, knowing that, like, at the end of the day, it's like, I seen like a lot of people on this block. You know, we see our local drug dealers, our local people get money, business people. But for my mother to be named on the street, that's like a big honor out of all the people we seen come. That's like a big legacy that will never go nowhere. So basically, as a son, it's like a very proud moment when that happened. And
I lived here and passed under that street, under that sign for the last 10 years. And one thing I knew is that this place, like, the shop was a treasure within my neighborhood, but I didn't know the story behind the treasure. It's just recently, again, with our love for basketball, drew us together, and I'm like, what? I'm a community activist as well. I do basketball outreach. I do homework help and after school, and I'm always trying to help young people. And I'm like, okay, so I want to thank you for continuing to let your mother's legacy live on through you, because one thing I read about her, and it was like she was so iconic that they needed to memorialize her by putting up that sign for future generations. So now, as a future woman and who wants to look out for her community, I'm able to say, wow, somebody has paved the way for me. I'm not here working on Lefferts Avenue idle-minded, like when I have this purpose and this vision, feeling like I'm by myself. No, there was a woman before me, and I'm like, all right, let me see where she left off. So I'm here talking to her son Marcus, and I'm gonna take up a mantle too, because I want to be a part of it. So September 16th, I'm surely gonna be out here with my son at the block party and having a good time, remembering what she did for the community.
The block party most likely will be on 11th, even though her date's the 16th. I'll do my best to do it like on a weekend. So we do it on a weekend, so that way kids is involved when we give a lot of, because you know they go back to school. So we best to do like a weekend before that date and we give away a whole bunch of school supplies. It's free food, music, entertainment, everything for the kids that day. All right, so basically, the story behind is like at the age of, I believe, 20 years old, August 28th, I believe, 2003, I was shot in my back while riding my motorcycle in Bed-Stuy. So basically, it wasn't like no beef or anything, but like being who I was at the time, or like being very popular, like just a young kid, you know, flashy, jewelry, cars, doing what he wanted to do, like it bring a lot of jealousy with it. So it just happened that I was riding my motorcycle on the side, Wooding, fell off, and a car came up to me, started shooting. That caused me to be paralyzed for 18 years.
Wow. How do you stay positive Like, you have a great spirit.
Yeah.
How do you stay positive and still going after your goals in
Yeah.
spite of your circumstances
All praise.
or what somebody will call a setback?
Yeah, all praise is due to Allah first. But like when my mother was here, like the first year was like a transition. It was like very rough. But my mother always told me like to be strong, no matter what situation. Like you make your bed, you lay in it. So whatever you face in life, like you always gotta keep your head up and be strong. So it's like at the end of the day, it's just you gotta move forward. If you keep thinking about your past, you'll never have a future. So I do my best, whatever, just think about what I'm gonna do next, how I'm gonna move around, and I do my best to help other people so that way I get help, knowing that my situation. So that helps me get along a lot and do a lot of things and get a lot of things done.
You said something very important.
Yeah,
Thinking about the future. So as a man thinketh, so is he.
yeah,
Being someone who is not able to move around with limited mobility,
yes,
how did your mind start moving you around? Because right now you're doing things that other people are struggling to do with mobility. So how did your mind transport you and continue to transport you? Like the power of the mind. Explain to the people about that.
It's like once God takes something away from you, you realize He makes something something else with you stronger. So basically, God, He took away my ability to walk. I lost the ability, but I gained other ability, like how to think. You feel me? Like it made my heart stronger, my mind stronger. So basically, I just like always I always have to think 2-3 steps ahead. It made me slow down a lot, pay attention, analyze, and like a lot of certain things. So that way, it helps me like move around, get things done. So I'm always preparing, always planning ahead.
I love it, Marcus. Like I just said something lately, like time and reality isn't the same thing.
Yes.
You know, a lot of people think the reality that they're in, their current situation, it cannot change. But time comes, it changes your reality if you continue to be prepared, if you're 2 steps ahead and you're strategizing. So it doesn't matter how set back you are, you can accomplish whatever you want. And that is the triumphant part of your story. And that's what a lot of people out there are going to be motivated by. And this is what Talk with Tawana is about. Like, I could have had everything else set up to do all the other interviews. But this story, that is what God needs people to hear. That even though, and I love when you said God took something away. You didn't blame nobody else. And then you said, then He gave me something else greater, which is the power of the mind. And I'm a strong believer. So, I mean, I'm going to just say it. The same way you're using your mind, the same way you could use your mind and get up and walk one day. And I know you believe that.
God wanted when the time is right.
Exactly. Exactly. Because you see, the time is going to, because that reality, the time is going to come. And then you're going to have the opportunity and we all going to be like, yes. So what do you guys make here? What is all of these beautiful bottles? What is this? Like, what's going on here? Because it smells amazing in here.
Okay, this is our store right here, Herb Organic Oils. I can see we specialize in fragrance. So basically, me and my brother Jabril, he's not here right now. We started the store about 5 years ago, like to bring something to community, like health stores. You smell good, you feel good, you look good. That's what we all about. Like bringing something to our people, all natural stuff. Everything from basically like black soaps to shea butter. I mean, we have our detox for cleansing. I mean, then we also have our fragrance oil because everybody wants to smell good after you're looking good. So one of our top sellers, basically like our fragrance oils and certain stuff. I don't want to say no names, but it's like, basically it's like saying,
we got y'all, we know. Just come through. We got the whole lineup for you guys. Every designer.
Yes.
I was shocked too because when I found my designer, I was like, "Whoa!" This is my store for my shea butter, my detox. I remember I went on this Esther cleanse and I was like, God, I want to get closer to you, so I'm gonna do this Esther cleanse, which was like, you know, taking care of my body on the outside, inside, you know, because my mental health was very important to me at the time. Being somebody who was diagnosed bipolar, I realized that I had to take care of my mental health. So coming down here has been oh my God, has been a relief. Like just getting those all natural products that is building up my body, building up my immune system. It was really a godsend. So sometimes you don't have to look far for the healing that you need. And I found my healing right inside of this store.
We thank you partner with us.
Yeah, I did. And then you guys have a barbershop right next door.
Yes.
And that's where my son goes to get his hair. So there's a one-stop shop for everything in the community. And that's what community development is.
Yes.
And I thank you for what you've been doing for our community. I mean, you don't get, a lot of young people don't get appreciated much. For choosing to do the right things. The past doesn't matter. Choices in the past doesn't matter, but we don't get the accolade that we need. So I'm really thankful for the borough presidents for looking out for you and saying, hey, you're gonna get this citation. I know there's great things coming for you.
Yes, inshallah.
All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Talk with Tawana.